Here we are today. Our money has no backing other than the confidence and full faith and confidence in the U.S. government. That's faltering. Other nations want to remake the global monetary system. The petrodollar is ending because Saudi Arabia is selling oil in things other than dollars, like Chinese yuan. Fiat paper money is being phased out by electronic versions, central bank digital currencies. We're on the cusp of that, issued by the Federal Reserve with unlimited creation and the total draconian control provided by the federal government. Does this mean that our founders warned us and then stuck us with an evil fiat monetary system from which we cannot escape? Say it isn't so. Well, I have good news. I told you it's pirate money. You got to get the new book out. It's all about economic justice. It's all about beating the Great Reset. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the solution. As we've explained, under the Constitution, a state, like Texas, or really any state, can establish a bullion depository or a bank and declare gold and silver as legal tender using the authority granted in Article 1, Section 10. That state can actually open accounts for depositors and then buy gold and silver on their behalf and make it transactional using a debit card like this one. They'll keep the records. They'll sell gold and silver when the depositors want to cash out. So here's how it works. You send them this kind of money. They turn it into this kind of money. They hold it on account, and then they give you this so that when you want to spend it, you can. You can operate in an entire personal gold and silver standard system. Optional. You can go and keep using US dollars if you want, but shouldn't you have an option? The technology exists and it works today. And because the holdings there would be legal tender declared by the state, they're probably not even subject to capital gains tax if they hold their value during inflation. I'll give you an example. Gold was $35 an ounce in 1971. It's $2,000 an ounce, give or take right now. That means that you got a massive gain if you bought gold and you have to pay tax on it. But if it's legal tender, you do not have to pay tax. So the middle class would have a simple way to buy, sell, and transact in gold and silver. Remember, the Wall Street Journal, I told you, they said you can't even buy a movie ticket with it. Well, you can't with a debit card? Of course you can. You can have an optional gold and silver standard that you can join with at least a part of your assets. The downsides of illiquidity, capital gains tax, storage taxes, and just the complexity of learning how to buy and sell gold would be vanquished. All the upside of gold doubloons and silver pieces of 8, pirate money, with none of the headaches thanks to modern technology. I know it works. I've got an app on my iPhone called Glint, and I've used it. I put money there, they bought gold, and I've spent it at a restaurant. Now, all of that's good, but it's not issued by a state, and therefore it's not officially money. Can a state do this? Is it legal? Yeah. Article 1, Section 10. The founders said that states can't coin money, they can't emit bills of credit, but they do allow this one single provision. They said, essentially, that a state can make nothing other than gold and silver coins tender for payment of debts. And with that small phrase in Article 1, Section 10, they opened the door that based on all the research I've done, and I've looked at the Constitution, I've read the founders, I've read Supreme Court cases, I've read this book, Pieces of 8, by Edwin Vieira, and everything he's written, and I'm going to tell you, we can do this. This is a legitimate alternative monetary system that can be set up in any state. And I chose Texas for several reasons. One, I live here. Number two, they already have a bullion depository that I was encouraging them to build. And number three, we know some members of the legislature. So we tried this. In the 88th Texas legislature, we developed a plan, and we got very far with it, but it didn't pass. We're not giving up. I've written the book Pirate Money as a treasure map to implement state-based gold and silver money. Pieces of 8 and gold doubloons made modern with electronic payment capabilities, just like that Glint example. That new book, Pirate Money, it explains it all. You can learn more at piratemoneybook.com and get copies of it. This is about economic justice.